saying you are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Thank you. Rowdy old bunch tonight, y'all. All righty. You are listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. And whether you're down the street, around the corner, across America, or somewhere around this great big world, we're delighted to have you, and we are going to have a spectacular show tonight. In fact, this is the second show we've done tonight. We were live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and now we're back for round two. What is it, 9:30, 9:33 Eastern Time right here, and we're going to have a delightful show. I do want to say this. We, the gang here at the Funny Farm, want to thank all of our listeners, all the people that support us, all the people that sponsor, all the people that help us. I mean, everybody, everywhere. And words alone cannot express our appreciation for everything that everyone has done over the years. None of this would be possible without you. And as we go through our journey from way back then to the present time and hopefully looking to the future, we have had an exciting run. We're having an exciting time, and we have exciting things planned down the road. So we want to thank everyone, guests, listeners, sponsors, everybody and everywhere for helping us through these years, and we're going to have a great future, the good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. We have with us tonight a man who is not only a musician, not only plays with the Threadbarons, but he is a professional photographer, and he does some fine things with that camera. I can take a picture with a phone, but all that other fancy stuff, I mean, I'm totally lost when it comes to that. Dan, welcome to the George Espenlaub Show.
Well, thank you very much, George. Happy to be here.
We were off the air before we went live. We're talking about your photography work, and you mentioned that a couple weeks ago you held a concert at your house. How'd that all work out?
Well, I was blessed with a fantastic property here in Denver. I bought this in 1990 when things were affordable in Denver, Colorado. And it's a approximately 3,300 square foot building that is has been my business and my home for since 1990. And so the main room is just a big old photo studio, 12-foot ceilings and a good run of space, about 1,000 square feet. So what we do is hold house concerts here, house shows. It's also where my band rehearses, the Threadbarons. And then we open it up, and we have a party, and we can get about 80 to 100 people in here.
Wow. That's my kind of place.
Have us a great time.
And you don't even have to leave home to do all that stuff, huh?
That was the whole grand design, George. I didn't want to be commuting to work or anything. I wanted to live and work in the same spot. And like I said, I've been blessed to have found this property some years ago. And my wonderful wife, Sandra, she's just she has an interior designer sense. And it's a really spectacular space. We feel very, very blessed.
Wow. So tell me about the Threadbarons, Dan. How did it all come about, and how did you come up with that name?
No, that's a good question. It's a good story. I'd been in bands for a number of years, and I just came to a point in my life where I wanted to not necessarily run a band, but I wanted to start a band. And my idea was for everyone that was in the band to be equally invested, share their songs. It wasn't about me at all. Of course, I want to do some of my songs, but I love the contribution of other people and just how musicians can get in the room and with the right attitude and a lot of fun, just make a song their own. And we've been able to do that with the Threadbarons since I think I started this in about 2011. And the name is an interesting story. I'm glad you asked that one. My father passed away back in late 2010. And, of course, I went home for all the final procedures and whatnot. And my mom said, well, go up to your dad's room and take anything you want. Go into his office, take any books, go into his closet, take anything you like. And I just remember him walking around the house in this old green corduroy shirt. And that was the first thing I grabbed, and my brothers wanted no part of it. So I brought it home to Denver, and one night I decided to put it on, and I sat down next to my wife, and she goes, where did you get that shirt? It's so threadbare. And I said, wow. Threadbare. And then it just quickly morphed into the Threadbarons as a band name.
Wow.
So that's the story, and I give my dad all the inspiration for that one.
Do you still have the shirt?
I do. It's even more tattered and torn now. So it might go in the archives at this point. I don't think my wife wants to see me in it.
That's the way my wife is. She always wants to throw my stuff away or get rid of it. But I never see her part. She never I have things go missing from time to time myself. Isn't that the truth? But she never wants to give anything up.
Well, yeah, that's not the dynamic, is it?
No. After 51 years, I just accept it. If it's there tomorrow, then I'll wear it. If it's not, then
congratulations, 51 years. That's quite an accomplishment.
That's forever, yeah. But
good for you guys.
So you guys have been playing since what, 2010?
Well, I started the band in 2011, and actually I counted up the other day. This is the sixth iteration of band members. But I've been really fortunate. We've all been really fortunate to have found each other, and this outfit currently has been together for a little over 2 years now. So really, really happy with the sound, and we know the songs, and we're tight, and we just have a good time. We just have a great time.
How many's in the band, and where are those fellas from?
Let's see. We have 4 band members. The first one I'll tell you about is Dan Hurricane Petrino. He hails from mostly Philadelphia, although he's bopped around, but he likes to say he's from Philly.
Yeah.
So that's where he's from. We have Nikolai Cade Kubina, and he is from West Texas, and everything about him is West Texas. So that's where he hails from, and we love him. And then we have Pete Gillespie, who is from Decatur, Illinois, by way of other parts unknown until he settled in Denver. Wow. And then myself, I'm Dan Sidor, and I basically grew up in Rochester, New York, with stints in Southern California and Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow. How long have you been at this business, Dan?
I'm sorry, George?
How long have you been at this business?
The business of music?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a little late start on it, I would say. I didn't start really playing drums until I was in my early 20s when I got my first photo studio. And I was the only tenant in a 100,000 square foot building in downtown Denver.
Wow.
So I could be horrible And I had a friend that I lifted weights with, and he played guitar, and he was a very patient man. And he would come over, and we would play CCR and ZZ Top songs just so I could get the basic timing and the basic beat down. And that's where it all took off for me.
Wow. Now tell me about this.
I haven't stopped playing since.
Tell me about these albums that you guys had. You just brought one out this year, right?
Yeah, I guess you would call that our debut album. It's a full-length release, as they used to call back in the day, an LP. It's got 12 songs on it, 11 originals, and one old spiritual called Ain't No Grave. I believe it was written in the late 30s or 40s. So yeah, my idea for a band was always, like I said earlier, for everyone to contribute. So we have original songs from each of the guys, Nikolai and Pete and myself. And Dan Petrino does a wonderful, wonderful job of singing high harmonies and vocals with us and tying it all together.
How about if we play some Trouble Bound?
Hey, I heard you talking about trouble, so yeah, let's get after it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends, Romans, and countrymen, I guarantee I'll have both your ears when you start listening to this. The Threadbarons, Trouble Bound. Trouble Bound by the Threadbarons. Wow, that was pretty cool. You know, Dan, that was one of those songs that you can't stand up or you can't sit down without tapping your foot. Everything begins to move. And around here, we call it tap your foot, snap your fingers, bob your head, and shake your booty.
Thank you very much. Those are very, very kind words. Thank you.
So John Bundy, and I'm sure you know John.
Yes, sir.
He said, "Nice. All my remaining toes are tapping."
All right.
Oh my! It's good to have you here, John. Man, all my remaining toes are tapping. Go ahead, Dad.
Want to thank John for the hookup for this. So thank you very much, John Bundy.
Yeah, he has. He's been instrumental in hooking up a couple people from out your way. And it all started years ago when I had Remus Tucker on the show.
Oh yeah.
And it's just blossomed and bloomed. And then I met some other people that met some other people that knew some other people. Before you know it, in fact, I met John. We both go to we go to Ireland every Sunday. Shame on me, I haven't been able to get there last couple of weeks. But we go to Ireland. Into the chat room, a fellow by the name of Harry Burke, who has the Swingin' 60s show. That's where I met John.
Okay.
And it has turned into a real friendly. I mean, he's a fine fella. Turned into a real friendly relationship, and yeah, he's put a lot of stuff together, and I thank him for that because.
Yeah, I thank him as well. He was good enough to come out with his lady friend and another friend to a show we played Friday night. It was good to see him.
Yeah, he told me he was going out to hear y'all. So it's a big world, but yet it's a small world when you look at it like that.
Well, we're just happy to be found.
Yeah, there you go. So, how many are you staying busy? Let me put it like that.
You know what, we play and we play out at a regular clip that I think we're satisfied. We're looking for those better and better shows. You know, we've played the really small rooms to no one. Yet, you know, you go through your songs, and we've rehearsed, and you get tighter and tighter. And I think we're just at that point now where we want to play a little bit more and a little bit better rooms and festivals. That's what we're looking to do.
Cool. And your website is threadbarons.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's THREADBARONS. It's all one word. Sometimes people want to separate it, but I like the two words tied together.
Threadbarons.com. And by the way,
yes,
Dan, you've got a real nice website. I was cruising around in there the last couple of weeks, just being nosy, but that's what websites are for.
Heck yeah.
Some great pictures. And where can folks get your music at?
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Dan Petrino again, because he does a good job of taking care of our website, and I just supply the content. So we got a good double team going there. You can get our music on Spotify. I think they're shutting down iTunes, or if it's not already gone, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe we're on Reverb. We're on Reverb Nation, and you can always go to the threadbarons.com and listen right there.
Alrighty, cool. Yeah, lots of stuff there, and you even have some video.
Oh, I would like to tell everybody, we did print vinyl records of this album.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's a couple of us. Well, all of us really appreciate vinyl, but me in particular, I still have every vinyl record I ever purchased. I never, ever got rid of them. And thankfully, Pete Gillespie is of the same mindset. And so he went, I'm going to tell you a quick story. He goes, what if this is the only thing we ever do? And you die, and what are they going to put on your casket? So Pete decided he wanted a vinyl record on his casket.
Wow!
So I would like to encourage anyone to get a hold of us, and we can ship you a vinyl record.
Wow! Well, you set me back in my seat when you said that you even did it on vinyl. Wow!
Yeah.
That's not
had
done much
had to
anymore.
hunt that down, but boy, I'll tell you what, I put that record on the other day. As soon as you drop that needle, it's got another worldly sound in this digital age. You know,
Yes.
that
Yes.
warmth, and that crispness. And I want to give a shout out to the producer on that record. His name is Nick Bullock, Bullock, and he is a Nashville guy. He's a Nashville producer who was kind enough and talented enough. He drove all the way out here from Nashville, and he produced the record here in my studio, my photo studio. And so he did a great job. He also did our EP for us. So we've got a nice relationship going with Nick.
Wow. Came all the way from Nashville.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Dan, I'm looking down this list. Excuse me. I'm looking down this list. Is there any particular song you'd like us to play this time?
Well, why don't you go back to the EP? That's our first release. It's got 6 songs on it. And Pete Gillespie wrote a great song on that. It's called Barbed Wire Life. And I love to play it. It's one of our favorites.
And I've listened to it.
I'd play that one.
I've listened to it about 15 times
Wow.
over the last few weeks. Oh, I've been listening, brother. Honest, I've been listening. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbed Wire Life, the Threadbarons.
Drive a
You guys got a deep. The only way I can say it is, you guys got a deep, deep, crisp sound to you. Does that make sense?
Heck, I'm blown away by that. Thank you.
I just sit here and I just marvel at it. It's a deep. I mean, it's got depth to it. It just does something. I don't know if it does something to somebody else, but it just does something to me. Who's the songwriters in the group, Dan?
Well, so for instance, first of all, thank you very much. That's a high compliment from you, George. So we appreciate that, and can't believe you listened to that song 15 times. Keep listening to that, would you?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
And the others. But let's see, that last song. So basically, the way the Threadbarons works is each guy's got a song. You know, he's a songwriter. So, for instance, Barbed Wire Life, Pete brought that in and said, well, this is how this goes. And then we add whatever we can add to it, you know, and we rehearse it till we get it to a point where, okay, we're ready to perform that song. So there's Pete Gillespie. I am a songwriter, but you know what? I'm a drummer only. I don't know an A chord from a B chord. So these guys are so patient with me that I say, okay, here's the lyrics, and I start singing the song to them, and they figure out what I'm singing, and they put the song together. So that's amazing unto itself, and they work with my handicap in that regard. And then our other songwriter is Nikolai Cade Cabina, and he comes in, he'll come in with a full song, and again, we'll just add what we do to it, and we discuss it. There's no ego involved. We say what's best for the song, and we take lyrics out, we strip things away. Nick Bullock, the producer I had mentioned to you, he has encouraged us to think of the days of 3-minute radio when you had that much time to impress somebody, and so we kind of aim for that. And like I said, we have 3 songwriters, and then Dan Petrino ties it all together with his vocals and his very, very musical sense.
Wow. You mentioned that word, excuse me, ego. And I don't know how many times over the years I've said this on the radio and off the air. If people would leave their ego at the door, and when they leave, don't pick it up. Just go head on without it. I think things would be so much better. It seems like you guys... what's the word? It seems like you guys are all mellow.
Oh, well, yeah, I think we're mellow in the sense of working together, but believe me, it has gotten fiery at times. And, there's no harm in that because we're all like-minded that we want to do the best thing for the song and the band. And so, if you can't argue with your best friend, I don't think you're that tight. So yeah, we've gone through some things, but I think we do have a sense of a quieter perspective about things. That let's get the song done and perform it well.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get it done.
Yeah, and you mentioned the ego thing. I mean, that's the ruin of every person is their ego, So I've tried to encourage people, not to go there, and I try to lead by example in that regard, and just not be an overbearing presence, but be a collaborator and a friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the George Espenlaub Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm, and I'm telling you, there's no place like the Funny Farm. We have a lot of fun around here. We never know what's going to happen next, but we have a lot of fun. And we have with us tonight Dan Sidor. Before we went on the air, he told me how to pronounce it. I think I was saying it all different kind of ways, but he got me right. We've got Dan Sidor with us and the music of the Threadbarons. And I'm telling you what, they are just plain all right. Dan, where do you want to go next? We did Barbed Wire Where do you want to go next? Barbed Wire Life?
Yeah, and I'd like to go to a song called "Hired Hand." That is written by Nikolai Cade-Cabina, and if you dig into those lyrics, you'll see that you'll hear that it's kind of a timely song. It's about a love separated by a border, and we've had some of that action going on. So, yeah, let's play "Hired Hand."
All righty, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, "Hired Hand" by the Threadbarons. And that had a story to it, ladies and gentlemen. That was sweet. Dan? I'm going to run this one right behind it, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Still
Living Wanted. Wow. That came from the soul. That's what it sounded like to me, Dan. I mean, from way down deep in the soul.
That's where they all come from.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Hey, tell me something, and I usually ask everybody, the changes in the music business that you've seen over the years. I guess there's a lot of pros and there's some cons to it. But it's not like it was back in the day, is it?
Not at all. And you still read about those days and how that whole system worked. But seems like nowadays it's like every man for himself, and the more you can do for your own brand and your own cause, the better off you are.
Yeah, there was a day that if you wanted your music played, number one, you had to kiss the golden ring, jump through the hoops, and then beg and all those other types of things to get your music played on a radio station. Those days seem to be gone. The big music makers aren't there no more. I think there's only, 3 left? 3 big labels left. But nonetheless, right. Like you said, now it's every man for themselves. What do you find the most hardest part about getting your music out there and promoting and marketing and those type of things?
Well, you know what I think the issue is, George? There is so much talent in the world. There are so many talented people, singers, songwriters, bands, and everyone's got something to offer. Mm-hmm. And so how do you get it heard by new people continually so that you can build some sort of following, right? That's the biggest obstacle to me.
I've told my wife, and over the years, I've been involved in one way, shape, or form with radio since '76. But we were talking the other night, and down through the years we have talked, and our whole purpose, our whole goal is, and I've always said, that the best ones or the brightest ones aren't always those ones that's out there in glittering lights and on the marquees and so on and so forth. But I've always been after those nuggets, those nuggets that's laying around. And I tell her, and she tells me, that the people that we've had on over the years, I mean, they're just awesome. And that's the only music that we play. The independent artists out there that's busting their hump, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and all their music is so wonderful. That's the kind of people that I want to reach out to, and we do our small part. We'll play your music till the cows come home, and when the cows come home, and we hook them up to the milking machines, we'll play the music for the cows. But and I give you that as a compliment, but that's how we feel around here. We want to get people's music out there, and we'll just play it and play it and play it. I'm not all into this other stuff, whatever it's called. It's good for certain people, but our goal is to take these bands, these groups, these individuals, and just do our small part of just lifting them up. And if somebody else can come along and lift them up higher, man, we're all for that. Because I know it's a rugged, sometimes it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. But I'm telling you, the people that we've had on, including you, Dan,
wow, thank you.
Your music just it sets with us. That's what I was saying. when I do the computer work and all the good stuff that we do around here, I've always got music playing, and I'll play. I don't know how many since I played your music the first night. I don't know how many times I've listened to this thing, but I just keep listening and listening and listening, and that's what it's all about. And it might mean to be so long-winded, but nonetheless.
Hey, listen, brother, I'm very, very humbled by your words. That is very, very kind, and you consider us one of your nuggets. So that's a high honor in Threadbaron lore. So we really appreciate that. And yeah, you know, the music business has always been nasty business. Look at all the movies that are made and how it's depicted. So there must be some truth to it. So like I said, you know, I remember, I think Wilco was one of the bands we really admired because they said, hey, to heck with that. And we're going to start our own label, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And they put out their own records. And how admirable is that? Look how successful they've been. And a guy like Joe Bonamassa, who's totally self-funded.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's made his own brand and he's made his own way. And so I think that's the future right there and right now.
This modern technology we was talking about before we come on the air, this modern technology, it can take you places that you never even dreamed of.
Isn't that something in our lifetime? You know, we've gone from the analog to a digital world.
Yes. I told somebody the other night when I was a young fella growing up, computer wasn't even in our vocabulary.
No, right.
And now
my first encounter with a computer was the old punch card system.
Oh yeah.
Tediously had to sit there and do each card individually, and I said, nope, I'm not part of this.
Yeah, you might as well go out and chisel stone, you know, is to do stuff like that.
I'd rather do that.
But my oh my, the progress that we've made.
Yeah, it makes you know. Look, you found us. You found the Threadbarons. You know, out there in the digital world.
That's
so
right.
Thank you.
That's right. I'm always rooting and being nosy, looking for things. But yeah, I've had a wonderful experience doing that. So,
yes.
Where are you guys? What's your plans? Are you going to make some more? I still call them albums. Are you going to make some more?
Yeah, you know, each guy's got a just got a stack of songs, you know, rearing to go. We just got to carve out some time to dedicate to building some new material. But yeah, I think definitely. There's no lack of material, so we will be looking forward to building another 12, 15, 20 songs, whatever, and put them out there.
That is so cool. Ladies and gentlemen, go to the Threadbarons, Threadbarons, the Threadbarons. That's all one word, thethreadbarons.com. And there you can read all about it, and you can see some of the beautiful photos that Dan takes and puts up. And wow.
Thank you, George.
I like them. Hey, Dan, before I let you go, can we do this Ain't No Grave?
You know, it's got a powerful message. It's like a church experience when we play it at shows. So, yeah, we'd be honored. Thank you.
Ain't No Grave. Is that the one that goes, ain't no grave gonna hold this body down?
That's it, brother.
I can remember listening to the people in the church singing that when I was,
that's where it came out of.
When I was just a young pup. Ladies and gentlemen, the Threadbarons. Ain't no grave, and I'm going to guarantee you, your foot's going to tap, your fingers are going to snap, your head's going to bob, and your booty will probably move after all that gets going. So here it is. Ain't no grave.
Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of this ground.
Oh, this is good.
Ain't no grave gonna my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of this ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, go on over, Gabriel. Put your hand on the land and see. Ah, Gabriel, don't you blow your horn till you hear from me. Then I look way over yonder. What do you think I see? I see that band of angels coming after me. And then I look way up the river. I see the people dressed in white. I know they're God's people, 'cause I see them doing right. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of this ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. I'm going down to the river Jordan. Gonna bury my knees in the sand. I'm gonna holler, oh, Hosanna, out to reach the promised land. Then I look way over yonder, and what do you think I see? I see that band of angels, and they're coming after me. So won't you meet me, sweet Jesus? Won't you meet me in the middle of the air? When your wings carry me, I know you've heard my prayer. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of this ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of this ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. You can't hold me down. Never hold me
And you've been listening to the music of the Threadbarons. And we have had as our guest tonight Mr. Dan Sidor. Dan, it has been a privilege and an honor to have you, sir. And I mean that. I really mean that.
Well, I can feel that, George, and I feel the same way. This has been a real treat to be talking to you, and so kind of you to be playing our music.
And we'll continue to play it. You've got my phone number. You've got the call-in number.
Yep.
I have carry my phone with me all the time anymore because it rings, dings, makes sounds, does all that stuff, that notifications and all that good stuff. So I always have with me. You call me anytime, sir, anytime. And if we can do
George,
anything to help you along the way, and anything that you post on Facebook or some other place, make sure that I get it, I see it. When I see stuff, I throw it up on the show page. I put it on our stories. We'll just splatter it out there everywhere we possibly can.
Well, that's a fantastic offer, and we'll definitely take you up on that. And I will give you a call. I've enjoyed talking with you, and I'm sure I'd enjoy talking to you further.
All righty. And listen, the next time that you come back, we have just implemented a live streaming. I call it a live streaming dooflicky, but it's a live streaming show.
Great.
Which is going to really push things out there even further. So maybe
that's fantastic.
Yeah, there's all kind of things that you can implement with this. So we've got a lot of ideas. We're contacting people, and maybe the next time you come back, we can do a live stream, and maybe you have the guys together or whatever. But we're going to work.
Sure, I'll get all the boys over here.
There you go. We're going to work on all that stuff, so we can find those nuggets and then push them out there and put them up higher.
We appreciate it so much.
All right, old buddy. You have a good rest of your evening. God bless you. And please stay in touch.
We'll be talking soon, George. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night. Wow. What a tremendous individual. Great music, great band. And Mr. John, while I got you here, I keep telling myself, I've got to call John. I've got to call John. I've got to call John. And every time I say I've got to call, I know that's not good English, but I have to call John. Then I find myself doing something else. But John, I promise, I'll give you a ring up. I just keep bumping into myself. We're trying to move around so fast that sometimes I pass myself going in a different direction. But I promise, John, I'll get to you, and we can sit down and we can chat for a little bit on the phone. Because you've been a good friend, my friend, and I want you to know that I appreciate it very much. And speaking of friends, here's another friend.
The Swinging 60s. The Swinging 60s. The Swinging 60s. The Swinging 60s Show with Harry Burt on Spreaker.com.
Hey, this is Harry over here in Ireland. Welcome you to the Swinging 60s Show. Sunday evenings, 2000 hours GMT. I will play Beatles, Kinks, Beach Boys, Carpenters, Elvery Brothers, lots of classic oldies. We have quizzes. We have all things going on here. So Google the Swinging 60s Show. Be heard. Come into the chat room.
And make sure you visit Harry. Harry on Sundays. Boy, I've been slipping, but I've been caught up in some projects and different things. I've got to get there on Sunday. But Harry's a good old boy. You look him up. Swinging 60s with Harry Burke. We have had a wonderful, wonderful time tonight. And please, take the time to go to the Threadbarons. It's all one word. The Threadbarons. The THREADBARONS.com. The Threadbarons.com. They've got a fantabulous, I call it a fantabulous website. Go there. Mr. Dan is a fine photographer. He takes some awesome pictures, so you check it out there. Listen to their music. Spotify. Go to their website. You'll hear it more on this show as we mosey along up the road. I don't want to say down the road. That seems like it's going backwards. Up the road. Good night, old buddy. Thank you, John. And I'll be calling you, and we'll have a good chit-chat. Thank you, buddy. So you'll be hearing more of the Threadbarons, more of all the other guests that we've had, and more of the guests that's to come. And you'll just be hearing a whole lot more of everything. Wow. Time just slips away so fast. Yeah, Mom's always telling me, stop and chill, but it doesn't happen. She's absolutely right, John. What can I say? 51 years, the lady sure does take care of me. I love her with all my heart. I need to pay more attention to what she tells me. Anyhow, it's been a wonderful time, and time has slipped away again. 2 shows tonight. At 8 p.m. we played Unshackled. Tonight at 9:30 we had the Threadbarons on with us. Mr. Dan Sidor, gentleman, fine human being, and a lover of music. Really appreciate it. So look them up. Look them up. Threadbarons.com. On Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be having Essie Bagheri back again. If you missed him the first time, you missed an exciting story. Since then, Essie has been to Hollywood and met with producers, executives, directors, writers, who they want to do a movie. They might even be in the process of doing it now. But he's written a book. He has a tremendous story. So you tune in on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We might live stream that one because it is a fantastic story, and he will catch us up on his journey. He has had one fantastic journey, all the way from Iran to where he is today. Many, many years and many, many things. And he'll be filling us in on all of it. Listen, thank you for tuning in. God bless each and every one of you. It's time to get off of here. So if it's nighttime, have a fine night. If it's daytime, have a great day. But until Wednesday night, 8 p.m., good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I'll be back with you for another live George Espenlaub show. Tell your friends, pass the word, be kind to one another, help one another, and I just trust that God will keep you right in the center of his hand. Good night, everybody.